M14 gang or Olympia gang? Where do I fall? You know the correct answer is the M14. Welcome to the S0-14. Hello, I'm Mr. L, and today we're going to be taking a look at the S0-14 in Modern Warfare Zombies, or as you will hear me call it, the M14. Unlocked by getting the EBR-14 at level 12, or extracting with it in Modern Warfare Zombies, the M14 is a Modern Warfare 2 semi-auto American-made battle rifle that comes with a fire rate of 545.5 RPM. It comes with 20 rounds in the mag and 220 rounds in reserve, and goes up to a maximum capacity of 480 rounds in reserve. As tradition with the battle rifles in this game, if you press left on the directional pad, you can switch the fire mode from semi-auto to full auto on the M14, which at first sounds very weird for the M14 since we've always known the gun to be semi-automatic. But now that it's full auto, let's see how it goes! Holy shit. The reload speeds on the M14 aren't really good for a battle rifle, clocking in at 3 seconds when partially empty and 3.4 seconds when the mag is empty. These are remarkably terrible, especially with how much they'll fire through a single mag, so you know exactly what I'm going to say next. Always buy Speed Cola for reduced reload speeds. The iron sights on the M14 are pretty good, as they can take down your targets from a distance, and you can get some pretty good headshots with the M14. But only use the irons if you're firing the gun while the gun's in semi-automatic fire, because, good God, do not fire the M14 in full auto. If you aim down the sights while the gun's in full auto, the kick and the muzzle flare is a bitch to deal with, which is why tac stance exists. If you want to utilize the full auto fire on the M14, switch to tac stance to avoid the annoying muzzle flare while aiming down sights, and by God, tac stance with the full auto fire on the M14 is amazing. If you want to use tac stance while in semi-automatic mode, go for it. Both fire modes go great with tac stance on this gun. With the stats covered, I gotta admit, I have a great soft spot for the M14, as it's a gun used in arguably one of the best Stanley Kubrick movies ever made, Full Metal Jacket.
I don't want no teenage queen, I just want my M14. I just want my M14.
Yup, it's one of those types of videos, folks. Anyway, let's talk about the M14 against the zombies. When it comes to the regular hordes of the undead, the M14 is pretty solid. The gun can take down zombies pretty well if you get consistent headshots with the M14, and it can deal decent numbers against special enemies in semi-automatic fire. However, I should note something right now. It will deal more damage to all enemies in comparison to full auto fire on the M14, where full auto damage is slightly decreased. But will that hurt the gun? Well, let's see how a full auto M14 will deal when you're surrounded by the undead. Huh. So that's how Private Pile felt when he fired the M14. Times 10. You may go through mags pretty quickly, but don't let to bring the gun down, as you have plenty of ammo at your disposal. Hell, even in Tier 2 the gun somewhat holds up. But I will be a little bit reasonable. While a gun can kill zombies in a medium threat zone with a blue rarity tool or higher, the M14 will struggle against the special enemies in MWZ. So what's your next course of action to deal more damage against special enemies? Well, Pack Punch, of course! When you put the S0-14 in the Pack Punch, you get the S0-4P, or as I call it, the SOAP. Okay, maybe not that type of soap, but moving on. The SOAP is just an extension of the base version. You get a 40 round mag with a whopping 720 rounds in reserve. And yes, I did just say that. And on top of that, the SOAP now comes with stronger rounds against the zombies. And goddamn, the SOAP is a great gun all around. The rounds are so strong you can clear paths in front of you in full auto, or just take down a special enemy. The full auto SOAP will be there for you. The only two things that will hold the SOAP back is the high kick recoil and the 40 round mag. But hey, you know what will solve that? The attachment selection. So with that, let's move on to the attachments. For your first attachment, equip the FTAC Grimline laser for better hipfire and tac stance spread, better sprint to fire speed, and better hip recoil control. For your muzzle, equip the Bore 490 muzzle to remove most of the gun's vertical, horizontal recoil control, and to make the recoil much easier to control. For the underbarrel, equip the VX Pineapple foregrip to reduce your gun kick control and recoil control, to improve your aim walking steadiness, and to fix your hip fire and tac stance spread. A grip like this on the M14 is flat out mandatory for full auto recoil control. For your barrel, I recommend choosing the 22 Boremaster barrel for better bullet velocity and range, better hipfire accuracy, recoil control, and a better gun kick control. And lastly, equip the 50 round drum mag on the M14, so the gun can now come with 450 rounds in reserve in the base version, and so when pack punched, the SOAP can come with a 100 round mag and 600 rounds in reserve. It may be less ammo than the base version, but trust me, the bigger the mag, the more bullets you'll have at your disposal against the zombies.
Well, no shit.
All of these attachments in the long run will give the gun much easier to control recoil, and with the addition of the 50 round drum mag, you'll now have more ammo to hold down the trigger and light up the zombies up in smoke. In short, the M14 and MWZ is a pretty solid sleeper hit of the battle rifles. The gun does really good damage against the undead, has a great ammo reserve, and it has pretty decent handling. Not to mention its select fire between semi-auto and full auto will greatly benefit you against the army of the undead. When pack punched, the SOAP will give you more ammo and stronger shots to deal against zombies across all 3 zones, and will help you destroy the special and elite enemies of Modern Warfare zombies. Try out the M14 and MWZ. You'll enjoy the slaughter. This has been Mr. L. Thank you guys for watching, and join me next time where I'll be taking a look at the Car 98K.